Hey everyone, John from Bowstone Studios here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. How's it going? Recently, I got to work on two releases that were purposely to the vinyl format from the start, which is really cool. The digital was kind of like the afterthought on the projects as opposed to the vinyl. I think it's a really great strategy for bands to go these days. You know, you can have like a vinyl release party, people buy it, and they don't mind spending $20 when you get this big cool thing, right? And it's a great format to listen to. It sounds really good. There's a lot of good mastering engineers that can focus on how to master for vinyl. I have a few that I like to use. A guy named Garrett Haynes here in Pittsburgh. There's a guy up in New York, Alan West, who owns West Side Mastering as well. Super great. These guys specialize in that, and they're good at that format. So the two records I got to work on recently, one is by a band called Limousine Beach, and they made this song called Liquid Teeth. And Liquid Teeth is really about a flavor of ice cream that was kind of like a promo for ice cream, and it ended up being just super, super cool. The packaging on it, it's limited, it's just a single. But what's cool about it is they did like an old school flexi disc. And I think, oh, there we go, that's the right way. They did an old school flexi disc, so it's really wobbly, as we can see here. And this is kind of like what you'd get back in the day, that inside of like a Hit Parade magazine in the 80s and 90s, they'd like kind of package these in the back of the magazine pouch when they used to come in like cellophane, and there'd always be these cool flexi promo singles. So this is what came out with them. For those who don't know, Limousine Beach is kind of like this combination, Thin Lizzy meets like a thrash band. Really cool guitar stuff. This song's like fast, kind of has like a lot of punk beats in it, and it's really cool. The format for this is definitely interesting. You know, it's not as high fidelity as say like 180 gram vinyl. Obviously, it's very thin, but it's still really cool. And you know, given that the band's kind of gritty, I think this is actually a great format. It gives it kind of a gritty vibe to it, and it's really cool. The other one I did recently that was like kind of like a straight to vinyl release, and the real digital was the afterthought, was this record by the band, the Harry Von Zells. Super cool. The record's called Play It Backwards. They're a band in Pittsburgh. What's fun about this record is that there's a lot of guest musicians that kind of performed on it. And also everyone in the band is kind of a multi-instrumentalist. So like the bass player is the singer, and he also plays piano. The drummer also plays like one of the upright sticks, which is kind of like two guitars put together and you play it vertically. The keyboard player also plays guitar and sings. He's a DJ. The lead guitar player plays piano. He's a super great lead guitar player. So it's just a really cool lineup to have so many different talented musicians to work with. The other fun thing about it is this record had a lot of guest musicians on it. So a person by the name of Wendy Eisenberg, who Wendy is kind of like this New York noise jazz awesome guitar player, and they did guitar on a song and I believe banjo on two songs. So the guitar playing is like super noisy and crazy, and the banjo kind of sounds like farm equipment or something. It's just wild. It's super great. A woman by the name of Erin Dawes, who's actually a really great drummer. She did some background vocals, and there were two other guest background singers as well. The record was actually pressed and printed here in Pittsburgh. There's a new record plant, I guess you can call it, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So this record was actually manufactured there. They did a really great job. I mean, the color on the actual paper, the cover looks great. You know, the back is totally different, green scaled, and it looks great in person. Like you look at it and you're like, wow, this is really great packaging. The vinyl sounds awesome. They did a great job pressing it. So it's super cool. You know, vinyl full length, right? Super cool. It's actually side B, and then there's side A. Came out really nice. You know, it has the typical kind of paper jacket. And then they also did an insert for it, which is also super cool. They did like it's super classic, right? It has the lyric sheet. So if you want to read the lyrics, it's great. This came out on Igor Records, and it also features a cover from a band from Boston called Big Dipper. They were kind of like an late 80s, early 90s band. The song, I think it's off their second album. The song is called Stardom Because. And so these guys did a cover of it, which was super cool. Big Dipper was cool about it. let us put it on the album, and it came out great. So I'm really excited about the both of these releases, and got the privilege to work on them. And I think bands should do more vinyl. I think vinyl should be like a leading first thing. Digital is so easy to, produce and promote, and it's fine. It's a nice like travel format to listen to, but vinyl's a great kind of collaborative format. You have some people over to your house, and instead of putting like one song on a Spotify playlist or something like that and going to the next song, with vinyl you put a side on, or you put the whole thing on, and then you go to the next one, and it kind of creates a mood. You can really like change the mood. Say you have a party and you have 10 people over and you put vinyl on, you can totally change the mood instantly, and it's a fun control piece. Like, say you put on Purple Rain or something like that, and you just start listening through it, and all of a sudden that whole record takes you on a ride. And then it's like later in the night, and you put on something, some sort of sad thing, you put on, I don't know, a Tom Waits album or something, and it totally just changes the vibe of the evening. And vinyl has a lot of other great things that are about it. It's like hard to skip songs. I love that about it. I think it sounds good. It's a nice sounding format. It sounds different than digital. I think the word warm is played out, but I like to call it vibey. It has a little bit of grit to it. It does have, it can have some extended bass, especially on like the first couple songs. If you really listen to like Tom Petty's "Damn the Torpedoes," it has this really cool extended bass at the start of each side, and then as it goes through, the record itself actually gets thinner, and the songs have less instrumentation. So there's these cool little nuances to it that make it a nice format. So yeah, check it out. Check out both these bands, Limousine Beach and the Harry Von Zells. I'll include links below on the YouTube video, and I'll post this on Instagram as well. We can tag everybody in it. But both the bands are super cool. And yeah, so thanks for stopping by.